It's not just that you're a crook, Senator. Well, perhaps Senator Perdue would have been able to respond properly to the COVID-19 pandemic if you hadn't been fending off multiple federal investigations for insider trading. It's not just that you're a crook, Senator. It's that you're attacking the health of the people that you represent. You did say COVID-19 was no deadlier than the flu. You did say there would be no significant uptick in cases. All the while, you were looking after your own assets and your own portfolio, and you did vote 4 times to end protections for pre-existing conditions. 4 times. And the legislation that you tout, the PROTECT Act, it includes loopholes that specifically allow insurance companies to deny policies to Georgians with pre-existing conditions. Can you look down the camera and tell the people of this state why you voted 4 times to allow insurance companies to deny us health coverage because we may suffer from diabetes or heart disease or asthma or have cancer in remission? Why, Senator?
Hello, everybody. Today we've got a really special person on. It's her very first time. Her name is Amy, and she's got the most important message for right now this month. Everybody's talking about Georgia. She's a Georgia resident, and she is discovering something very scary that is kind of corrupt in a way. And maybe we can just hear what Amy has to say about this that's going on.
So what I found, and this is just from time I've spent on the ground registering voters, out canvassing, is that Saturday I came across 11 different people who had voted in the presidential election on November 3rd and were not registered any longer. When they went to the mvp.sos.ga.gov website, their information didn't show up. So it would appear that they had been purged. And of those 11 people, all of them were Black and 10 of them were women.
Yeah.
I
really
love
serious.
your video.
Yes,
Thank
it was
you.
great.
We've all
Very
shared it. And
Yeah,
I know that's why I'm here. I had 200 followers.
That's awesome.
And so I would like to introduce everybody. My name is Bert. My channel is called Food Expert, and I mostly make travel videos, but right now I'm currently making political videos on my 3rd channel on YouTube called Stream with Bert. And that's what I do. I make food videos on YouTube, and my channel is called Food Expert, my main channel. So I would like to move on to Mermaidmama Maggie.
Hi, I'm Mermaidmama Maggie. Maggie Reed. I do political comedy, political stuff on TikTok, and yeah. And I'm also starting to host some of the YouTube lives with Bert. So yeah, cool. That's it.
And then we have got BrainDaddy.
Oh God, I hate that name. Yes, I am the BrainDaddy. Can I just say, first of all, that video we started with is probably like, I think, the video of 2020.
that's because you love him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do want Jon Hotchkiss to be my husband, whatever.
I think
but
So does every woman in the world.
Yeah, but seeing that, like, just seeing that obvious, like, look of on you know, the other dude's face, it was just like the ultimate ownership, and I just love that video. But yeah, I make comedic videos on TikTok. I guess they're comedic, I suppose. Talking about politics and having a fun time doing it. So yeah, this is always awkward for me to do. I don't like this part.
Oh, come
That's
on.
okay. And then we've got Nathan, who's brand new to this whole live streaming thing. It's great to have you, Nathan. I love
Great to
your
be
content.
here.
I've been subscribed. I've been following you for quite a few months now. I just didn't know.
Really?
I just didn't know I was when BrainDaddy told me about you last week. But yeah, it's great to be having you on here.
Sounding more like me.
Yeah, I consider Mike to be sort of like my TikTok dad. Like I'm kind of his protege, you know. Like
Did you say dad?
Yeah.
Oh my
On
God.
TikTok. He supported me when I first got on there. He was duetting my videos, and he's just one of my best buds.
Oh.
But yeah, I just make political TikToks, and just I haven't made a video in a few days, but yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I just go on there and I talk about I've made a lot of videos about Donald Trump, and they haven't really been too nice. So
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
I think we all have, and that's
Where have we seen that before?
the ties that bind us, people.
And then Amanda Henn, it's great to have you
Hey,
back
it's
again.
me. I'm back. I'm here to drive everybody crazy.
Woo!
Oh, and by the way, Mike, you're his daddy.
Oh my God, I'm like 15 years older. That's it.
Who's your daddy, baby?
Oh Lord Jesus.
Oh, Lord Jesus. But I'm doing whatever Bert's doing. He just plugs. I don't know what I'm doing. Y'all know I don't.
So yeah, anyways, Amanda Henn, go check her out on Twitter, YouTube, and on TikTok, of course. Now you're at are you now at like 190,
Yeah,
Amanda?
yeah. Almost
that's
That's
200.
awesome.
Working on 200,000. And I'm not shadow banned anymore.
amazing.
And they put up both of them videos that they took down. They put them back up.
Woo!
That's great. So you won that little kind of fight
I
with
won
TikTok.
that battle, honey.
Well,
If they
hopefully,
gonna threaten to kill me, then they gonna get the punishment with all my little people because they was after them.
That's
Did
right.
you get
And,
death threats?
Oh, I get them all the
I
time.
mean, I do too, but like,
Yeah.
did you get a recent one?
Yeah.
Dude,
And I decided this
I got
time I was going to
today.
expose them.
Oh, okay.
you got 5 today?
I got 5 today.
Oh, well,
Oh, wow.
Mermaid,
Well, you
know
because
what?
you want black women to vote.
I
I was
know,
about to say
right?
you're doing
How
something
dare
right
you.
when you're getting death threats. So there you
Yeah.
go.
I'm not too worried.
And then we got
Yay!
Mr. Jahko here actually. So he is not able to get his video, but can you hear us, Mr. Jahko? Are you able to talk? Maybe not. So I don't know what's going on with him right now.
I hear him.
I thought I heard.
He's muted.
Yeah, but he can unmute himself if he can hear us. But yeah, I don't know.
Mr.
I'm
Jahko,
not sure what's going on with him, but
blink twice if you can hear us.
Can you hear me?
Blank 3 times if they've got you.
and I'm hearing some weird sound. I don't know who it is. It's coming from the headphones. It almost sounds like typing, but it's like something going on with the headphones.
You're probably hearing me typing.
Are
I'm
you-
working. I'm sorry.
No,
I still hear it.
I'm not here. Yeah, I still hear it. So
I
I'm
hear
just
this
trying to figure out.
rubbing,
Like I
kind of
was
click,
Yeah.
click.
So if we could mute ourselves whenever you're not talking for everybody. If everybody mutes and then you unmute yourself when you do talk, but you have to, of course, hear what's going on. So make sure you unmute yourself before you start talking.
Bert,
But
you
yeah,
will not
just
silence
typically.
me.
Yeah, and I don't think it's you that's making the noise. The noise is gone
Good.
now. So
Good.
yeah, anyways, sorry. We're not talking about like noise canceling or whatever. We're hopefully talking about the thing at hand. And so, Amy, we would like to know more about you and your background and everything.
Okay, I had to unmute myself. So, I don't know how much background do you want?
Birth. From
Oh,
birth.
it's
Birth.
yeah. Just what made you
How
move
many times
to
you been in
Georgia?
jail?
Daddy.
Like
Okay,
you moved to Georgia, and you recently did an interview with Walter Masterson on his TikTok, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, and tell us about like what's going on, how you discovered this for yourself.
So the whole basic as far as what I do, which is more, I would describe myself as a political activist. I've been doing this since the mid 90s. The first campaign I ever worked for was Bill Clinton's re-election, and I wasn't even old enough to vote. So I've kind of run the gamut there. I worked in Jackson County for Obama during 2008. I've worked for Claire McCaskill. I've worked for the dreaded Acorn. I worked for Kerry when he was running and Gore. So, I mean, I've done a ton of political things in my life. It's just kind of in my blood. It's what I do. Excuse me. But I'm originally from New Jersey. I went to Kansas City for college and met a guy, got married, had some kids, got divorced, and wanted out. And so I moved down here to Georgia 2 years ago this month. And tried, started trying to get involved with things immediately. I was actually really upset when I first moved here because I literally moved here about 2 weeks after the deadline to register to be able to vote for Stacey Abrams. So I couldn't vote in the 2018 because I moved on November 1st. So I wasn't able to vote then. But I've always been politically active. And then, with everything that Trump has done and all of this, just the shitstorm that he's shown in the world, I've become more so. I was in Missouri when the Ferguson riots were going on. I was there with Black Lives Matter, marching with them back then, and I have skin in the game too, right? So a lot of people would look at me and be like, oh, it's just a middle-class white lady. What does she care? But, first of all, I'm Jewish. So the same people that want to kill Black people want me dead too. They just don't know by first glance. Right. They have to open my mouth. But once I open my mouth, they know they want me dead too. But then on top of that, every person in my house who I love is Black. My children are biracial. My fiance is Black, so I see the issues that happen here. And, with everything that I know isn't new to the world, but was new to me when it started being televised so much with so many Black men and women. But, obviously they show more of the Black men being killed by police. It's a constant fear. I have a 14-year-old son, and while I know he's the sweetest, most loving child in the world, he's 5'9" and weighs 200 pounds. So to the rest of the world, he's a really big, scary Black guy. And so I worry, when he dogs that for our neighbor, I not only put a post in the neighborhood Facebook page that he would be there. Please don't call the police. I called the sheriffs and I told him, okay, this is what I sent them pictures. This is what he looks like. This is where he'll be. He has a key and an alarm code. Please do not shoot him. And we shouldn't live in a society where those things are happening. We shouldn't live in a society where people are killed based upon what, just the color of their skin. So many people, want to shrug off and act like racism is over, and racism never went anywhere. It's here. It's part of our culture. We are in a white supremacist society. We're raised within a white supremacy, and systemic racism is part of the deal, and so people not recognizing that, just saying I'm not racist, right? Because we want to see, we see racism as bad, right? We have this binary relationship where racism is bad. I'm not bad, so I'm not racist. And what people fail to recognize is that, yes, racism is bad, of course, but I'm white, okay? And I've been raised in a white supremacist society. So without option, there are going to be some racist tendencies within who I am. And it is my job to educate myself and to find those and to root out the cause and to take action against them. Not being racist isn't enough. You have to be anti-racist. And so that's really kind of who I am. I am a political activist. I'm an HR director. And I'm a mom of Black kids, Black Jewish kids. And I want the world to be safe for everybody.
And also, Amanda Henn is also Jewish too, Amy.
I know.
Oh, okay. I figured.
We can tell.
Yeah. And so, yeah, how did you find out about this whole thing of the unregistered voters? Like, you're working in some kind of field like this, or you just have happened to talk to people and get them to check and then find out that they're not registered?
So on top of my regular job, one of the things I do and have always done, especially during election seasons, is find an organization that is canvassing, that is registering, that is educating, and become involved and work with them to get out the vote. And so while working for that organization that I'm not allowed to name, I've been told, But by working with that organization, I was actively attempting to register voters, right? On that same day when I met those 11 people, I also registered 2 18-year-olds and my first ever in 20-some years of doing the 17-year-old. Her birthday is going to be on January 2nd, so she could register and she gets to vote. So that's what I was doing. I was registering voters. I registered 15 voters that day. And so, and just in talking to people and trying to get them to talk to me, because a lot of people say they're registered, but they're not. So like, oh, okay, here, check your registration. And they're like, oh man, I think I forgot. Okay, so we fix it. But what happened was that I was saying that people would say they were registered, and I say, okay, here, let's check your registration. And they're checking it and they're going, what the hell is this? Why isn't this pulling up my information? And it's okay, well, you're not registered anymore. Okay, that's okay. We're gonna fix it right now. And I'm registering them, re-registering them. And so that's how I found out that this was happening and raised the alarm.
And you're the very first person I've heard of that is talking about this. Have you guys heard of anyone else talking about this issue?
I only know about it because of Shannon Smith duetted her video. So then I duetted that video. So yeah, you're the only one.
The video.
Yeah, you're the only one that I've actually seen talking about it.
Yeah, I've
heard.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Maggie.
No, I was just saying it's insane that this is not more widely known right now. And it is, I mean, I was thinking about it today on my workout. I was so mad about this. This is just like the last straw. We've had so much voter suppression in this election in general, but then to do this in this last stint for Georgia, it just pisses me off so much. And we need to be standing up to this, like so much more than we are right now. More people need to hear about this. Words need to get out. We need to share this with the world.
Would it be more beneficial for us as individuals to make our own videos about it to reach our audience, or is it better for us to duet a video like Amy's? Like, what do you think would be the more impactful?
I think
thing?
both.
Yeah,
I think do both. Do it Amy's and make your own too.
Do whatever you can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to contact news stations. I think this needs to be something that it needs to transcend TikTok.
The only station that has covered it at all is 11 Alive or Alive 11 here in Atlanta. And they didn't, now thankfully I was happy they didn't say anything negatively about me. They didn't even really mention me. They just said that, this has been going around. But they did interview the state election board and were told by them, oh, that's not happening. And so all of a sudden was just, oh, okay, sure. That's like, me saying I'm not smoking a cigarette while holding a cigarette.
It's like they don't understand that. Like,
I can say no.
We can pull up receipts. We can show them, listen, I was registered, now I'm not registered. It's easily provable for them to say, no, it's not happening.
And you were just saying that they had just met again to kind of go over, try to even expand their voter suppression. Can you touch point on that?
Yeah, yesterday at 11:25 a.m., the state election board announced that they were going to have a meeting today at 8 a.m. Understand, I don't get up until 8 a.m. normally, but I woke up today. They had 3 propositions on what they were going to talk about for their agenda. The first one was about ballot boxes, and actually the language of it kind of read like we're either going to leave ballot boxes or add ballot boxes. So I'm cool with that. The second was about when are they supposed to start counting the absentee ballots. And quite honestly, I could care less when you count them as long as you count them. So I didn't care about that. The one that caught my attention was the third proposition. And I'm paraphrasing this a lot. I don't have it in front of me right now. But basically what it was saying was that in order for your vote not to be challenged, you had to have a valid Georgia driver's license or state ID, and you had to have a motor vehicle registered in the state, and you had to have paid the taxes on that motor vehicle.
Why?
First of all, that's a backwards way of making a poll tax. Because I've driven on temp tags in my life way longer than I should have at different times, right?
Why do you have to own a vehicle?
I don't know. It's stupid. Especially, well, think about it this way. Like I said before, Fulton County, right? That's where Atlanta is. They have more registered voters than everybody else. Okay.
Right.
Fulton County has MARTA. MARTA is like the subway or the L. Okay. There's a ton of public transportation. So if I lived in downtown Atlanta, I wouldn't have a car. There's no reason. Everything's right there, and you have the MARTA right there, so you're good. So it is just another way to disenfranchise urban people. You know, Black people is really what urban means, right? Black people, poor people, any young professional who lives in the city. We tend to know how educated young people vote, right? Because there's something about broadening your horizons and learning more that makes you a bit more liberal in life. So, you know, I mean, that's where we are. The liberals, we live in the cities. You know, if we're not in the cities when we're young, yeah, of course, you know, I lived in the city when I was young before I had kids. And then we move out to the suburbs because we want the bigger house and the school districts and stuff. But it's still, you know, when you look at that main, you know, number, you're going to turn so many people away from being able to vote. It's ridiculous. And quite honestly, you know, the whole thing about having to have a state or ID or a valid driver's license is complete bullshit, because I don't know other state laws as well, but in Georgia, you can go to your county election board and if you don't have an ID, you can get a voter registration ID specifically just for voting, and it's free. But to get your driver's license or your state ID, you're going to spend $20, $25. A lot of people don't have $25.
Absolutely.
Right? What about homeless people? I've registered homeless people to vote. They didn't think they could. And I'm like, well, I don't have an address. Well, we're at the corner of Dunt and Dunt. That's your address, buddy. Here you go.
Well, what if they're in the military? What if they're in the military and they don't even have a car because they're off like in Afghanistan all the time? I mean, I'm always out of the country. I don't have a car. I'm always gone. I don't need a car because I'm never even in the United States. If there wasn't COVID.
That would be the goal.
Yeah.
But how is that legal though? So like you basically have to have a vehicle?
But they didn't pass that, did they?
No, they didn't pass it. But here's the thing.
No, I didn't think so, because that would be illegal.
Right.
Well,
like,
we didn't win though. They didn't get rid of it. They tabled it.
Well, of course they're going to table it, because it would never go through. They'd be in court just like that.
Well, mostly they tabled it because so many people responded. Once I put out the Zoom link to people to come in and talk, they couldn't shut us up.
I mean, this girl is something else. We don't need to do nothing. She's going to take care of it all.
No, shut up. Don't you dare.
So are you doing, Amy, are you doing Zoom meetings and trying to check if people are registered through the Zoom meeting?
No. The Zoom meeting was with the organization that I register with. We do virtual meetings beginning of day when we're talking about, you know, what we're focused on and whose team leads here and who's going to be in this specific area. And they'd asked on that day, I'd actually gotten more registrations than anybody else in the organization working. And so, you know, they asked me how I had done that. And I said, well, sadly, this is why, right? Because 11 of those were re-registered voters, people who had been registered. And once I said that, it was just like chip. People were like, I ran across that. Oh, I found a few. One of the directors even said he came across 4 people that day who had to re-register.
Wow.
And so
that's the thing. There's so much going on here that hasn't been properly like investigated. I mean, you're giving us like ground information here, but you know, there's people that have the exact same information of you. We don't know how widespread this really is. And we don't know how widespread this is in other places that aren't Georgia as well, and how that would be affected.
We're not paying attention right now because they don't have a runoff.
It's over.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and I mean, here's what I tell people, because I've got some.
And I do feel like there's going to be a lot less Trumpers.
No, they're still here. Less Trumpers? Is that what we said?
Oh, we can't hear you.
I think they're going to be
I said there's less Trumpers.
Voting.
There's less Trumpers going out to vote. Like they're Republican, but they really don't care too much. But we can't depend on that because there's going to be still a lot of Republicans voting. They always love it when Democrats just think, oh yeah, we got this. and then the Republicans come through and they all vote, and then that makes them win every time.
Well, they've been having rallies in Georgia for the Republicans. You know, they've been
Yeah, they've been here.
They've been here, and they are pressing the issue and making sure that their base knows that what is at stake. It's the exact opposite. They don't want Biden to have any privilege. They want it to completely, you know, they want to table everything that he's going to bring out. So
yeah, they're fighting. They're
fighting the exact
right now. Yeah,
exact opposite battle. So we have to make sure that we, you know, get out there and we can vote. We should all just move to Georgia in the next 7 days, register to vote.
I think something we need to do
TikTok
is
might do it.
we really need to. I'm not sure how much of the young voters out registered in Georgia, but I think they were such a huge key to us winning the whole thing. But in Georgia, I think we need to make sure we're really getting that message out to the younger people too, that they need to register and they need to understand why this is so important for them to register and to go out there and vote again.
Well, something I saw that was really important is there's going to be 65,000 young people that's eligible to vote in January that were not eligible to vote in the presidential election.
In Georgia?
That's all. Yes, in Georgia alone,
Mm-hmm.
that are going to be 18 by the time to vote. Honey, that is enough to flip the state.
Absolutely.
Nathan, this is where you should come in, because I think you could capture more of the young voter out in Georgia than we can. Us old people. Apparently, I'm a dad. He left.
Nathan is here somewhere. He left just for a second.
No, he's gone. He's not here anymore. He's not here anymore. But I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you know, Amy, you were saying that you registered your first 17-year-old.
Yeah.
That's great. And we need more of that energy coming down. If we, like you said, Amanda, if we can get all the 18-year-olds, then we're going to be set.
Honey, it's over.
Yeah.
If we can get them.
Yeah.
You know, it must have been Nathan's, because I don't hear that crackling anymore.
It might have. Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, it could have been Nathan. But everyone's got bad reception today. I don't know. Everything is choppy. It could be the live stream platform.
Whenever Mr. Jahko comes in too, it starts to rattle a lot.
Oh, Jahko comes in sometimes?
Yeah.
Oh.
I hadn't seen it.
I haven't heard him.
Mr. Jahko's still around. He's just not in the live stream right now. I can see.
Yeah,
I can bring him in.
There he is.
I think it's just very choppy for him. I don't know if he can join.
Are we smoking?
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
My phone was about to die. I had to come out to the car to plug it up. No, I'm plugging my phone in. I didn't realize this was going to kill so much battery.
Oh, Nathan just texted me. He's his parents are creating problems for him doing a live stream in there.
So I want to ask you, Amy,
Well, stop doing that, Dad.
The best thing for people to do right now is to go and check your status, right? And then we talked about this earlier because I had asked you a question. Is it possible that they could possibly get repurged again? And you're like, anything's possible. So they have to check their status, re-register if they've been purged, and then go back and check every day up until the 7th and take a picture of your registration when you actually get it. It's verified, right? Am I missing anything?
I would take a picture. If you have to re-register, take a picture of it. And then if for some reason, when you're checking prior to the election day, you see that you've been purged again, you need to get to your county election board and talk to them immediately.
Okay.
Now, what's the last day to register?
Who's that?
Oh, this is Gary, actually. Gary Mosher is here.
Gary.
He's a TikToker also. Gary, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Gary Mosher, actor, activist, and TikToker.
Yeah, definitely go follow Gary. His information is in the description down below. So we're talking today about what Amy is going through with the messing up the registration of multiple African Americans that are living in Georgia?
Well, the question I had about that, and I posted on it, was if I re-register today, what is to stop them from purging me again tomorrow?
Amy, what would you say? I think we're having some problems with the connection. Amy was saying earlier that like they need to check multiple times possibly and take a picture after they actually go through with having like the registration. They take a picture of it, and then they might be able to come back on the 7th of January and somehow get processed properly. Is that kind of what Amy said? I mean, it was basically what Amy said. Yeah, so anyways, Amy, can you hear us?
She's on mute, but I think she's having connection problems for sure.
Yeah, I think so. But did I say it right? I didn't explain it very well. Maggie, would you like to explain it?
The voter fraud in Georgia? Yes.
The purging.
Okay, so what Amy was finding was there were people that had been registered to vote for our past election, and they rechecked their status, and apparently we're calling it, I guess, the purge. They had been purged off of the registration of registrar of voters. And so now they have to re-register to vote. And the deadline to actually get back on being registered to vote is the 7th of December. So it's approaching. And nobody knows who's actually purging these votes and why it's actually happening. But she found about 11 people that she knows. And then other people she's worked with have found cases as well. So this is something that we don't know how widespread it is. It's only been kind of talked about from one news source in Georgia. I don't know exactly where. She said like channel something or other.
It's Atlanta, 11 Alive.
But they were the only people that have actually touched base on this. So we're just trying to get the word out to let people know that if you are a registered voter in Atlanta, please go check your status. And if your status has been thrown out the window, you need to re-register by the 7th. And they have been trying to they tried to pass some weird kind of laws as far as voting, but they tabled them. So thankfully there's nothing else to worry about on that front, but still it's very for this moment, but it's very suspect.
What was that? That the had to have a car registered in Georgia?
Yeah. But that's all been tabled now. So that's not an issue anymore, but for now, like you said, Amy. But I mean, this is insane that this is happening. So, and we don't know how widespread it is. It's just a really great thing for us to be able to get out this information and make sure that people are checking and rechecking. Because I think the recheck is the most important. Because if someone's purging you once, they can purge you twice, right? Who knows?
Right. Well,
go ahead, Amy.
I was going to say the other thing right now, more than anything, I think that would help get a real investigation going would be if people are discovering that they've been purged, they need to send an email to info@newgeorgiaproject.org. These different organizations are coming to me asking me for proof, and I'm a single person, right? But while I spoke with 11 people, I didn't keep their information. That would be, to me, that's not ethical. And then I've got, dozens and dozens of people commenting on my TikTok saying that, yeah, they checked and this happened to them. But yeah, it's a TikTok tag. I don't know your name. And I'm like, okay, this is who I know. And they're like, well, we need more than TikTok. Okay, well, that's what I know. That's what I have. So I need people to really send an email to info@newgeorgiaproject.org if this happened to you, so that they can start if they get enough people saying something, then they're going to have to do something about it.
There you go. So
it's newgeorgiainfo.org.
No. Info at newgeorgiaproject.org. and you have to spell Georgia out.
Yeah.
That's what we all need to do a TikTok on and put
That's it.
that
That's really
link
what
So
up
it's
in the.
info@project.org.
Yeah, info@newgeorgiaproject.org. That's who
I'm
we
gonna
need to
put it in the
people to
comments.
send their personal accounts to.
I just wrote it for all of us. I think I
You got it. info@newgeorgiaproject.org.
yeah. And
Okay.
so I've got a video that actually Mermaid Maggie picked out. I've got a video that Maggie actually picked out from the other day, but it was such a great video. I want to play it again, talking about how important the Georgia runoff race is. And I'm going to play it right now. Here it
The
goes.
results of the 2020 election
Cool.
left both of Georgia's Senate seats up for grabs. Both races will be decided in a January 5th runoff election after none of the four candidates received more than 50% of the vote. And the stakes are high. How Georgians vote will ultimately determine the balance of power in the Senate. The two groupings of campaigns are Senator Perdue versus Jon Ossoff,
And retirement is coming for Senator David Perdue.
and Senator Kelly Loeffler versus Reverend Raphael Warnock.
Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, you're not going to take Georgia.
After the November election, Republicans hold 50 seats while Democrats hold 48. This means that Republicans just need to win one of the two races to keep their majority. But if Democrats win both, then the Senate will be split 50-50. This includes two independents who tend to vote alongside Democrats. This even split would still tilt the Senate in Democrats' favor, because any tie votes would be broken by Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. Both Perdue and Loeffler have the advantage of running as incumbents. Perdue has one term under his belt, while Loeffler was appointed at the end of 2019 when her predecessor resigned. At the same time, Georgia narrowly turned blue in the presidential election and is home to a wave of strong Democratic influence. Warnock and Ossoff are relatively fresh to politics. Ossoff comes from a media background and ran an unsuccessful special election campaign for a House seat in 2017.
This is a moment when all of us should be uniting.
Warnock is in his first run, but brings to the table a church work, activist, and nonprofit background. He would be the first elected Black Democratic senator from the Deep South.
And I'm talking to real Georgians who are struggling with real issues.
The two Senate seats will make a massive difference in whether President-elect Biden will be able to pass promised legislation in his first term.
We are already beginning the transition. We're well underway.
It could also make the difference for his cabinet appointments, who will face deep scrutiny from Republicans. So while it may just be one state, all eyes are on Georgia as their runoff elections approach.
So I feel like that all the Republicans are really scared right now, and they're putting pressure on Georgia to kind of get the votes kind of purged and the registration to like stop the people that will be voting out those two Republicans to get them unregistered. And all the counties that are, I guess, in the city of Atlanta, or I mean, not the counties, but the city of Atlanta, the city, like they're trying to get all those votes out, as many as they can.
Well, this is why Georgia needs to be on our minds for the next month and a half. We need to all kind of have that same energy we had with, you know, this past election with getting rid of Trump, but we need this energy for Georgia. And, you know, we're all Americans, and this is an American issue. It's one state deciding how the next 4 years is going to go right now. Are we going to have an agreeable Senate, or are we going to be totally like disenfranchised like we have been?
We're
Like
going to put Mitch in the ditch.
That's what we need to do.
I mean, Mitch McConnell's got millions of dollars, and he's putting it all towards Georgia, a lot of money towards Georgia, and he's getting his voters to donate money to the Georgia Republican side of things. And I can't believe the guy is too scared to even debate John. I mean, John is like such a good debater, and I can understand why he's really scared. But honestly, he's not fit to run if he can't even go on a debate. It's like, I mean,
Honey,
even
when
Trump
he
and
called
Biden.
him a crook, I thought I was going to fall on the floor. That was too good. But honey, I don't care. You can have all the money in the world, but when you get a bunch of mad black women, against you, you're gonna need more money. I grew up with them, sister.
Back up.
The crazy thing is
Yeah,
that,
time
you
to
know,
back up.
Purdue,
You're in trouble.
Purdue and Loeffler are both incredibly criminal. They've both, like, you know, had insider trading deals. They're just obvious bad news. And again, it's one of those things. Why does the base in Georgia, why does the Republican base in Georgia think that they are going to care about their interest in general? So I think also focusing on the issues and trying to even flip some people that were maybe just voting because they were part of the MAGA crowd and they were voting down the line, but maybe trying to get them to flip on actual issues that actually might be affecting them. That might be another strategy to help out in this thing.
Well, I mean, Jon Ossoff is going to be putting in new hospitals, and he's going to he's going for more like public education and public hospitals and more things that are good for people that don't have any money, even good for the Republicans. We need healthcare. We all need it. And we can't drive 3 hours to go to a doctor and say, hello, my son needs a checkup, and drive 3 hours back to our village in the middle of nowhere.
Well, that's true. I grew up in that area. I grew up going to synagogue in Rome, Georgia, and just outside of Rome is where I grew up. And all of these little rural towns, their hospitals are, they can't afford to keep the doors open because of the Medicare cuts and, not taking Medicaid patients. Georgia, Alabama didn't take that extended Medicaid money that was offered to them through Obamacare, which was stupid. I mean, it just hurt everybody. All the doctors are leaving town because, you can't make a living.
Yeah. Now, that's a really messed up situation. I feel like that, they don't have enough health care for their people. And Jon Ossoff wants to change that and make it better. So we need it.
Mike wants other things.
Well, I mean, we know that people vote against their own interests all the time. The Democrat, it's like Democrats, we're over here, we're like, we just want to give you affordable health care and, equality. Like, sorry.
But the biggest problem is so many people listen to only news that supports what they already believe.
Absolutely.
And they're in this wind tunnel where all they hear is what's shoved into their ears, and they do not want to hear anything that doesn't agree with what they already want to believe. And right now we're in a position where unless we get this HEROES Act out, it's not going to just be blue states. But the fact of the matter is if states have to balance their budget by law. And if they're not having the income, if they're not having the taxes come in that they normally would because we're shut down in many places, then what's going to be cut? Hospitals, doctors, firemen, policemen, all the programs for people who, for the most part, do not have a lobby, all the poor people, all those are what's going to get cut. And so the HEROES Act is important, not just for blue states, but it's also for red states. And it's so disingenuous to say that we're bailing out blue states.
Honey, there's more red states that are poor than blue states.
Yeah, they are the ones that are getting
California carries everybody else.
Well, if California and New York were dropped, if we said we want to secede from the Union, the United States would cease to exist.
Absolutely.
It just amazes me because Kentucky, I mean, Mitch McConnell's, they take tens of billions of dollars more than they pay in to the
that's
the
because
US
they're
government.
all poor.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really insane.
I hate to do this, but I do have to jump off.
Okay.
But thank you very much for inviting me, and I look
you,
forward to
Nick.
doing it again. I ran too far today because I was alive. I was alive while I was running, and
That will not be anything you ever hear from me.
And Gary, we'll get your YouTube channel going with the stream also next time. We'll run it on your channel too. So you can get your TikTok following directly to your YouTube. So you can say, hey, go check out my TikTok, my YouTube on the TikTok link. So it's just a lot easier. So we can set that up maybe tomorrow or the next day. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll figure it
Sounds
out.
good. All right.
Cool. Well,
Good
have
night,
a great
everyone.
night, Gary.
All right. Take care.
Bye. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, yeah, I guess we can wrap it up right now. This is kind of like a short meeting, I would say, for Amy, because we're really focused on Amy right now and Georgia. And I think we're going to be doing more of these, talking about the updates, and we'll be following Amy on TikTok and, pushing her message across. And hopefully we can get some normal media attention
And let's
through
push
TikTok.
the idea of getting these young people out. If we can get young people out to get registered in the next week or so, that will be, 18 by the 7th or by the 5th. I mean, that would really, really be great.
How do we get more people from Georgia to join, to get on our side, or just check out our TikToks? Do we write Georgia check, or what do we write in the tags to focus on Georgia?
Georgia election.
Yeah.
Is that what you put as Georgia elections in the tag?
I'm sure there are tags for, this runoff, Georgia runoff.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Can Amy tell the story again real quick before we go?
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
So important. I'm not sure if she can hear us.
Yeah, Amy, can you hear us okay, Amy?
I can hear you, but you're really garbled.
Yeah, and there's some weird noise. We don't know what the noise is. It might be Amy's phone, or we're not sure. Yeah, we would like to hear. Oh, wait. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you.
But yeah, it's just so important. The message.
It's garbled. Maggie, say
yeah, it's garbled. It sounds.
Hello? Is it me? I'm sorry, what?
Oh no. Well,
Y'all, I'm gonna jump off and see if that'll fix it.
No, I don't think so, Amanda. I mean, we can jump you off really fast, but we've just been having problems today. This is the worst
you hear me,
problems. Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay.
And I hear you, Amanda, too. It's just, I think Amy, we can't hear. I don't know what's wrong
why
with
don't I
it.
give a little synopsis then of Amy's kind of story? I don't know. Amy was working at registering people and realized that there were about 11 women, particularly Black women, that had been kicked off of being on the register of voters and in Georgia. And so now they had to re-register. They had formally, and they had voted in the last election, but they had been kicked off of being on the register of voter, which doesn't happen. So somebody has been purging voters from Georgia. And she had found this with a couple of other coworkers and people that she knows. So this is not just a one-time kind of occurrence or, just a little section of people. It's happening with other people, not just women of color as well. But and so it's not really being kind of broadcast out there so much. So we're trying to get the word out that if you do live in Georgia, it's so important that you go out and check your status, and then you recheck your status until December 7th, because that is the cutoff deadline to actually get out there and vote. And so we need this message out there, and we need people to, kind of start kind of getting people mobilized for Georgia as well, to vote Democratic as well, because there's so much hinging on this election. We will not have a successful Senate if we do not have these 2 seats. We need them
And
badly.
it's only 2 weeks away, basically, a little bit over 2 weeks. And then we got to be able to, we got to have this election in the bag, or else Joe Biden can't do anything, honestly. We're going to be stuck. And they're going to say that it's not constitutional to put a mask mandate all around the USA. We could put a mask mandate if we want to, but the problem is we got all these Republicans saying, "Ooh, we don't like masks," and all this stuff, and it's just going to affect everything, honestly. If we have got, the Senate is run by a whole bunch of people like Mitch McConnell.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need like Amanda
we got
said,
to get that
ditch
out.
Mitch. Ditch Mitch.
Put him in the ditch.
He's the worst.
Can you hear us, Amy? Can you hear us? Are you able to hear us?
I hear you guys. I've been hearing you.
Oh, good. Oh, good. But yeah, anyways, we can wrap it up right now. But I really want to bring you back on again, Amy. Probably this Friday we'll do another one on Mermaidmama Maggie's hosting one on Friday, and I think we want to bring back you for that, and we hope to cover that, and we'll bring other TikTokers on too, and we're gonna be promoting you all week.
And we will all make TikTok with her.
Thank you.
TikTok.
Yeah, the message is really important.
Yeah,
so
it's very important. We got to get this out there.
only 2 more weeks.
Georgia.
Come on.
Oh, Mr. Jahko.
Jahko. But Maggie, you got to sing that song.
Oh, I will. I was already planning on it. I'm doing something for Georgia for sure.
Nice.
I got this.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you.
We can see you too, baby.
Okay. I was having trouble. I'm sorry.
Hi.
We all having trouble, baby.
Yeah, so Mr. Jahko, I guess you've been hearing what's going on in Georgia right now. Like you've heard Amy's information. You've heard about her TikTok. Yeah, so anyways, what's your take about all this stuff?
I think that, a lot of people are basically thinking it's all over now that the main election is over. They think that, they don't have to do anything. And that's basically what the Trump supporter people want. They want us to kind of think that, we won, it's over. And then they're going to try to do something on that side where they just go and, try to get their votes up because we don't have that information. So I'm glad that you are here to give us that information. So now we can take it seriously. And we know that this is something we have to focus on now.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Jahko, I think you have such a great younger base too, that we were talking about how important it would be if we could, in the next few weeks before the deadline to register, it's the 7th of December, if we could mobilize and get, December 7th of December, but if we can mobilize and get the young people that will be 18 by January 5th, because that's when the election is. If there are more young people that have their birthdays in that span of time, and they can actually register to vote now. Amy was just registering somebody that was 17 years old. So that can be a conduit of change for Georgia as well.
Okay.
65,000 people that will be eligible to vote that were not eligible to vote in the presidential election.
That's unreal. Yes, 65,000. Unreal.
Yeah, so actually we're going to be wrapping it up right now. I think there's there's some videos we could actually play about the Georgia election.
Can you guys hear me at all?
Yeah, we can hear you, Amy. We can hear you now. It sounds great. Oh, wait. Let's see. Can you hear us? Are you able to hear us, Amy?
I think she's frozen.
Oh, no. So I guess we can kind of wrap it up right now. Jahko, let's talk about what you do on the internet, and then we're going to go around and wrap it up all around us.
Okay. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Clapper, Twitter, Facebook, all of the social medias. My main platform is TikTok. I do Black history, cultural history, and I also started doing some stuff about politics. But I'm gonna actually do in one of my next posts, I'm gonna do one of those promotional things for the Georgia election as well, because I had something already I was working on that. So now I'm gonna use that information that you guys just gave me to add to that.
Yeah. We definitely got to promote Amy's message and amplify it and just, let everybody know. I mean, every little bit can help us win this election. And honestly, this is just as important as getting Biden in there and Trump. I mean, getting Trump out was a massive relief. But if we can get this one, we've got a really great reverend that is just an amazing person. And then we got Jon, he's a journalist by training, and he's a really smart man. He's going to be amazing at this. So, I mean, it's just, yeah. No, there's multiple reasons to have Jon make the Senate. So I just really hope that he can make it.
You guys.
And I have to say from Mike, he's cute.
That's right. I don't know where he went, but he would say right now, he's my husband.
Yeah. And so, Amanda, tell us about your channel. And we're going to all kind of go and sign off really soon.
Hey, everybody. It's Amanda Henn on TikTok. It's Nadine is Woke. And it's also that on Twitter. Nadine is Woke. I appreciate everybody following me. It's so great. And my YouTube channel is just Amanda Henn. And Instagram, it's Amanda Henn 2000. But thank y'all for everybody. It's been fun. I hope I get to see Amy again. This was great. You need to get on live every day, honey.
Yeah, no, definitely. And so we've got, let's see here. It looks like Amy's frozen.
I think she's completely frozen.
Bringing her back on. Oh no, I don't know what's going on. But Mermaid Maggie, would you like to talk about our live stream coming up where you're hosting on Friday?
Yeah, so Bert's kind of handing me over the reins to host on Fridays, and I'm really excited. So the plan is now we're going to call it Friday Night Highlights. And it's going to be a rundown of all the crazy political shenanigans of the week, featuring different TikTokers every week. And it should be a lot of fun. I'll be the host, so it'll be Friday Night Highlights with Mermaidmama Maggie.
Then for me, my name is Bert. I come from the channel Food Expert, and that mostly focuses on food, obviously. I'm not a political expert, but I'm a food expert. And my name is Bert, and I just launched a channel called Drink Expert where I'm going to be doing YouTube shorts. And then I also made I've got a live streaming channel focused on streaming. And And anyways, enough about me. Here is Amanda. If we can get her reception. If she cannot do it, then we're going to have to talk about her for herself. But yeah, we brought on Amy. We brought on Amy to talk about the problems in Georgia with the purge. And so, Amy, can you hear us right now? It might not be so good.
I think it was maybe hers that's making that noise.
It is hers, but it's okay. We're going to get it fixed by Friday. So we really need to amplify the message.
Can you hear
me? Yeah, we can hear you now. It's just you're kind of frozen a little bit. But yeah, Amy,
I think it's not going to happen.
I think the Board of Electors are getting back at her.
Yeah. Anyways, Amy, it was great to have you, and we're going to bring you back on this Friday and multiple times before the 7th of December, because that is the last day to register. And it was a really great live stream today. It was kind of a shorter one, but we're just focusing on the problem at hand, getting people out to vote for Georgia. And we're all, as TikTokers and YouTubers, creators, we're trying to amplify the message of Amy and the purge that's happening in Georgia. So anyways, we're going to say bye right now. Anyone can stay and talk that wants to stay and talk. I'm going to play this video of Jon Ossoff, Mike's future husband. Ossoff. Sorry.
I can never know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, here it is. I'm going to play it right now.
We have to come together to overcome this. Even before this pandemic, people who were suffering, 1 in 3 children in rural Georgia living in poverty, 9 rural hospitals closing in 10 years, a state government that refused to expand Medicaid and make sure that everybody can afford health care, a lack of access to dignified work that pays a living wage. We can solve all these problems. We can make equal justice under the law regardless of race and regardless of class a reality in America. We can defend voting rights for all people in America. We have good work to do. I'm excited to do it with you. Are y'all excited to do it with me? We should, if y'all are wondering what is that we've been feeling these last few days, it's hope.